hope you are doing well. Let me turn my ringer off. If you are new here, my name is Krystle. I'm a self-published author, writer, and content creator, and I'm currently documenting writing my debut romance novel. Now, y'all, in the last couple of videos, I have been very excited, okay? Excited about feedback, excited about working on this third draft. But the last 2 days or so have been, I'd say, really hard writing days. So I started to feel a bit overwhelmed over the weekend. I think it started Sunday night because I could not go to sleep Sunday night. I kept thinking about the book. I kept thinking about the plot. I kept thinking about this deadline that I set for myself. All these things. My mind was just going. And I don't think I went to bed until like 3 a.m. in the morning. And if you're new here, I have horrible insomnia, so being up all night is something that I struggle with. But I haven't had a night in a very long time where I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning, okay? So I was just feeling very overwhelmed. And yeah, I was just up all night thinking, my mind racing. And so yesterday I didn't do any writing. I kind of hit a pause on things and I'm like, let's regroup. Let's regroup. Really figure out, why are you feeling so overwhelmed, Krystle? So that is what I did. Yesterday I spent a good bit of time getting back to the basics on what makes a romance book a romance book. And so there are several YouTube channels that I go to for inspiration, for, I guess you can say, research purposes, and I'm gonna link one particular YouTube channel down below, because finding her channel, and the name escapes me right now, but finding her channel was so helpful for me yesterday, because again, it just helped me get back to the basics of what makes a romance novel a romance novel. Now, one of the things I knew going into the third draft is that there needs to be more emotional risk. And that's one of the things that had me up all night, okay? I'm like, how do I add the emotional risk that's missing from the book? So I did a bit of researching yesterday, going over notes that I took a year ago. I really gave my plot a good review and update. Now, when I was working on the first draft, I struggled a lot with plotting. I found it difficult to commit to a storyline. I kept changing my mind and changing my mind and changing my mind, and finally it got to the point like, okay, if you actually want to start writing, you're gonna have to commit to this story. Still give yourself a little bit of flexibility to update the outline as you write, but you have to commit to something. And so I struggled with that a lot during the first draft. And so fast forward to now, I'm on the third draft, and I'm like, I really need to change certain things. And before I get any deeper into this third draft, I've got to fine-tune some things now. So I have some stickies, which you can see right there. I don't know if I'm gonna plot things out on sticky notes today, but today is mostly a update my plot, be comfortable with it. I'm still gonna give myself a little bit of flexibility, but because I'm working on the third draft, I feel like I really need to be even more committed to the plot, and I want to make sure that the story has the pushes and the pulls that make a romance book a romance book. And so that is where we're at. I definitely did crash out Sunday night. I did. And throughout this process, I'd say I've been pretty positive, pretty optimistic about things. But there are hard writing days, but we just have to continue to push through. And I was telling my friend Remy this morning, like, I have to give myself grace because I've never done this before. When we're doing something new, we have to give ourselves grace to learn, to try, to start over, whatever the case may be. So that is where we're at. So this morning, again, I think I said it's Tuesday. I woke up, had some quiet time. I went for a very long walk, and on my walk, I thought about the book, of course. I thought about the book, thought about the things that I want to intentionally adjust, intentionally add. So I do have an updated outline, and I'm leaving the house. My dad is coming to get me in about 20-30 minutes. So until he comes to pick me up, that is what I'm going to work on. I want to, before I dive back into writing, before I dive back into editing, I want to be 200% happy with the outline that I have. And yes, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of flexibility, because you know I want to let my imagination run wild, but I need an outline, I need a structure, I need something to pull me back in when I'm going to the left, and I need to stick to the story. Does that make any sense? I hope that makes sense. So like I said, for the next 20-30 minutes, that's what I'm going to work on. Then I'm going to go out with my dad. We're going to go run some errands. Then I'm going to come back. I don't plan on going to a coffee shop today. I'm in the mood for, my mood changes. Sometimes I want to be outside of the house. Sometimes I want to be at the house writing. My mood right now is to just be at home all day, well, when I come back, and just work on the book. So that is what I'm going to do. And yeah, that is what I'm going to do. So I hope you are taking care of yourself. I hope you are protecting your peace, being mindful of what you consume. I think that's another thing that kind of caused a little bit of anxiousness, I guess, because I was taking in too much of the news, and also it seems like there's just so much negativity everywhere. I logged on to TikTok over the weekend, and it's just complaining about books, and it just seems to be so much negativity in so many different forms. And I'm like, today I am not getting on the internet. Today I am not getting on any social media platform. I just need to focus on my book, okay? Focus on writing, focus on being creative, because consuming too much of what's going on in the world can definitely drain my creativity. Now, it's one thing to be informed, but I don't want to be consumed every minute, every hour on the happenings of the world that I have absolutely no control over. So there's that. Okay, I'm rambling a little bit, and I do want to maximize on the little bit of time that I do have before I leave the house. So let's work on this plotting, let's work on this outline so that I can get back to working on this book. Okay? All right, I'll see y'all in a little bit. people. I hope you are doing well. It is a brand spanking new day. It is currently 3:55 on the dot. So today has been a very productive day. Now let's do a little bit of a recap of the week. Sunday night I couldn't sleep. Had a mini crash out over the book. Monday I was still crashing out over the book, but I eventually got myself together. And then yesterday I spent my entire day getting my mind right and revamping the outline of my book. And I can finally say that I am 100% satisfied with my outline. And the main difference between my outline that I did a year ago and the one that I have now is that it is so detailed on what I need each chapter to touch on. Okay, so I feel very satisfied. I feel very comfortable with the outline that I drafted yesterday. And it took me a good little while. For a minute I had to tell myself, take all these deadlines, forget about all of that, do what you need to do. And so I sat at this computer for most of yesterday working on the outline, also fleshing out things with my characters. Now I will say one good thing about getting to draft 2 and even draft 3 is when I first started writing the book, I did not know who my characters fully were. I didn't know who I fully wanted them to be, and maybe I should have had clarity on that before I started writing. However, we're here now. But yesterday I fully fleshed out my characters, their flaws, their strengths, their weaknesses, their challenges. So I feel much better today. I'm also feeling good because my friend Remy treated me to a banana bread matcha, so that also makes the day good. So update, I have made the decision to write draft 3 from memory, but also it's going to be according to the new outline. So there's a new timing, there's a new I guess you could say the pacing is a little bit different. But again, I feel completely happy with where I am, and I did make the conscious decision yesterday that I don't want to say that I'm starting over, because I don't feel like I'm starting over. I am still gonna call this draft number 3, but now I'm writing it with my idea, my plot, my characters much more fleshed out, and I am comfortable with that. I am happy with that. So I didn't mean to pull out the camera again last night, but by the time I got up from the computer, it was maybe around 5:30. I had the worst migraine and I got ready for bed, and I did not pick up the camera again. So as of right now, it's 3:58 now. I am at 6,016 words. So I have been at it all morning and I feel pretty good about my 6,000 words. And I'm about to sit here and write for another couple of hours. I was feeling a little bit sleepy earlier, but I feel good now. And I want to take full advantage of the energy that I have to write. Now, before we get back to writing, I wanted to show y'all some books that I got. So yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Monday, when I was just kind of getting back to the basics on what makes romance romance, there are a couple of books that were recommended by some of the YouTube channels that I was watching. Now this isn't the first time that I've seen mention of these books. I just did not order them when I previously saw them. And I'm actually not gonna sit here and get into the weeds of these books. I'm not even gonna crack them open today. But the first one, Becca Tobar Writes a Novel. I've seen people talk about this book on TikTok. So yeah, today I'm not gonna get into the weeds of this book. I'm not gonna crack it open, but if you are writing a novel, maybe consider this book. One of the YouTube channels, and I'll link all the channels that I watch that fall under what do we call it on YouTube? AuthorTube. I will mention those down in the description box, but this one comes highly recommended. And same for this, The Conflict Thesaurus, volumes 1 and 2. So this came highly recommended in one of the videos that I watched Monday. So yeah, I am about to, can't talk, I'm about to get back to writing. If I can write another 5,000 words today, I would be ecstatic. I have my matcha. I'm about to put my music on. I'm feeling good. I don't feel sleepy. I don't feel tired right now. So we are about to get to it. And I will pick up the camera, hopefully, prayerfully. I do not have another migraine today because we have things to do. So I will report back on my progress. And yeah, it is Wednesday. So, excuse me. It's Wednesday. And if I can keep this momentum going, I will have made up for my lack of writing Monday and Tuesday. And even on Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, because my crash out started on Sunday. Anywho, let's get to writing. And I will check back in with y'all later. Hey good people, so it is Thursday. It is a brand new day. I was thinking to myself on my morning walk today that my life kind of feels like one big routine, but you know what, when you're trying to accomplish a goal, sometimes you just have to create routines that help you be the most productive that you can be. So I did the same thing this morning that I've done every day this morning. Woke up, had quiet time, went for a walk. I did 2 miles this morning, and I've been sitting at the computer ever since, and I'm now feeling extremely sleepy. Okay, me and insomnia, we're beefing right now. So I got dressed and we're gonna go to a coffee shop and write. I do want to go to Trader Joe's today. And maybe Home Goods. I think I've been saying for weeks now that I wanted to go to Home Goods, so I think we're gonna go to Home Goods today. But update on the book, I am at 10,000 words, and today I'd like to do at minimum 5K words. So we will see how that goes. I'm trying to keep myself on schedule, but also I don't want to force things. So anywho, we're gonna try to get to 15K words today. I think it is very doable, and if I'm lucky, maybe I'll exceed it. So we shall see. Let us go to the coffee shop. I feel like every day is the same, but I'm in work mode right now. I'm in writing mode right now, so we gotta finish the book. So all right, I will talk to y'all later. Hey good people. Oh, it's not focusing. Focus. Are we focused? We're focused. Okay, so I'm finally home. It is 4:36. Let me tell you something. I was working on this book with one eye open for the last hour, and I'm like, Krystle, go home. Go home and relax for the rest of the day. But I am going to close this video out here. I feel like I have repeated the same day over and over and over again. So if you even made it to this point in the video, you are my people. You are my people. So I'm happy to report that we are at 11,290 words. So between yesterday and today, I've made a lot of progress, and I'm very happy. So while I was at the coffee shop, I did start reading Save the Cat. I highly recommend this book. I've only gotten into 2 chapters. Yeah, I'm only on the 2nd chapter, but I would recommend this book to anybody who maybe you're in the middle of your book, or maybe you're done with your draft, wherever you are in the writing process. This book ensures that you hit all the marks that make a great romance book. And so I wish that I would have read this before I started writing my book, but it is okay. The author actually mentions that you could pick up this book before, in the middle of writing your book, once you're done with writing your current draft. So highly recommend this book. I'm not gonna stop working on my book and just solely focus on reading this, but for the rest of, I'm looking at the clock, for the rest of the night, I think I am just gonna relax on the couch and kind of pick this up here and there until I'm ready to go to bed. But thank you for spending a couple of days with me. I feel like this journey of writing this book, writing a book is not a linear process. You don't just get an idea, you write it, and then it's done. Like every book sitting in Barnes and Nobles or any bookstore, it took a process to write that book. And whether it was 5 drafts or 45 drafts, or I don't know. What I'm learning is that I just need to embrace this process, learn what I need to learn along the way, especially if I plan on writing another fiction book once I'm done with this one. But it's a process. It's a process, and I've had some really hard days this week, but I'm still committed to the process, and I still believe, I'm still hopeful. I'm still very much hopeful, and I'm still very much believe that I am capable of writing this book, and that I am going to embrace the hard days along with the good days. So thank you if you got to the end of this video. And I don't know if I'm gonna pick up the camera tomorrow, because I feel like I just need a day where I kind of zone out and just focus on writing and don't pick up a camera or document anything. But I also told myself that I would start posting on Instagram and TikTok more consistently, and I haven't done that, so we will see. Anywho, I'm rambling as I often do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those of you who have met me in the comments to encourage me. Thank you. I appreciate you. So I'm gonna end this video here, and I will see you in the next one.